Hello, and welcome to the W.A.I.T channel. What Am I Thinking? A podcast where two sisters share uplifting conversations on fun and sometimes serious topics.
Join us each week by clicking the notification bell and subscribing to our channel. If you enjoy the show, use the share link. It's one of the best ways to expand the conversation.
Welcome to the W.A.I.T channel. What am I thinking? Our topic for today is healthy boundaries. And when we think of boundaries, they can come in so many facets and areas in our lives. Personal, professional, family, friend. So, I was part of a Bible study that was virtual a few weeks ago, and the speaker was Dr. Kimberly Wilson, a licensed marriage and family therapist, and she did a great presentation on boundaries, and that's what kind of got me thinking about this topic. And she said to think of yourself as a house. And then around your house, you have a fence. And so you have some people that can only be on the outside of that fence. That's as close as they can be in proximity to you. And then she said you have your yard people. They're your front yard people. They don't get to go to the backyard, but they're in the front. So these are people that can be a little bit closer to you, but they still are not invited into the house. And then you have your porch people. Porch people you probably trust a little bit more. Porch people you might share and be a little bit more open to, but still they don't get invited in. But then you do have those people who you welcome in. And those people should be people who have similar character, values, and that you trust. And even the more so, those people that you also could have, I skipped one. You got some people that are invited to the backyard barbecue. They may not come in the house, but the backyard barbecue people are also trusted people. And then you get to your really, really valued people who can come inside the house. And when you think of that, I want people to be honest with themselves as to how many people are they really putting in which categories? And do they let people inside the house and invite them to the barbecue before they really have passed a test to say that they have earned that or deserve that? Mm-hmm. And one of the problems with that is that because of a label a person may have, they get automatic admission. Family and friends. And sometimes family and friends can cross boundaries in ways that strangers wouldn't even consider doing. And so I have been guilty of this recently. So my W.A.I.T channel partner, Lori, as you know, is my sister. So we get to check the box of not just family, but sibling. And Lori is, you may not know it from this YouTube channel, but she's a very reserved and quiet person. And she's very particular about who she lets into her world. However, she loves her family. So she tolerates us. And so I want to say that I have done in the past a decent job of not crossing boundaries. Other loved ones that are very close in our lives, it's just we have accepted that that's who they are, and that comes with the territory. But it hurt me to know that I had hurt her by crossing a boundary of telling her how she thought or what she trying to projecting onto her what she could be saying, feeling, or thinking. And that was very wrong of me to do that. And I was proud of her for speaking up and saying something. because there was a time when she might not have said anything. She just would have sucked it up, maybe vented to somebody else, but not said anything to me. So I was grateful that she called me out on it, and I aim to do better in not doing that. And it wasn't intentional, because it's true, the saying, hurt people, because I was hurt because there was something I really wanted her to participate in, and I was very hurt and disappointed that she wasn't going to. So hence came me out of my hurt, I unintentionally hurt her. But I said all that to say is that we have to really be careful with our boundaries, know that it's okay to have them, and to make sure who we're letting in, and don't allow their label to get them a fast pass in. Lori?
Okay. So we're going to end on that note.
We are not.
I do know in one of our earlier episodes we talked about motherhood and how that shapes who we are. And I do know that in my childhood, my experience in my family shaped me and who I became. And I'm very much a middle child.
Yes.
Very much a middle child. Middle children, usually they want to, they always want to please. They don't want there to be conflict. They accept that they're not seen. They're okay with that. And so I kind of just grew up on my own island, and I remember it in that way, my own island.
And
not
I would
really
ask to visit as often as I could. As the baby, I would always want to visit and be happy when I was invited.
But the analogy of the house and I never could understand people who, the moment they met someone, that's my friend. And immediately they're in the house. And I would look at that and think, How?
Yeah.
I just never really got that. And I've always protected my boundaries because I see people, are you emotionally available? Are you not emotionally available? If you're not emotionally available, you're not even going to make it in my front yard. You're going to be outside of that gate. That's how I protect myself on my island.
Yeah. And I think also watching other people that you love and care about be hurt by not being more discriminating in what that test is for them. And when I talk about Dr. Wilson, who presented the training, she's been my friend since the 9th grade. And I don't have a ton of friends. And I'm good with that. That works for me because the people who are in my life that I would call a friend are people who've shown themselves to really be what a friend needs to be. And the 3 that I would say, 2 have been my friends since the 9th grade, and 1 has been in my life and been my friend since like the 5th or 6th grade. So long time people. Now, have I had other people in my life that I truly care about? Well, I would add one more to that. There's one more person, and that person has been in my life as a friend probably since 2000. So that's still a good amount of time. But that's it. I have come across a lot of people in my life that I would call associates. Acquaintances, co-workers, but they don't get to check the box of friend. I had somebody who I thought was going to get there, but they made some lifestyle choices that didn't line up with what was comfortable for me. And I had to, say, okay, so you don't get to continue on this journey with me. So, and I think a lot of people don't know how to do that. They don't know how to end things because People can sometimes be in your life for a season, as they say, for a reason, and some for a lifetime. The lifetime number should probably be kind of small if you want to be honest about it. But when you are allowing people in your life, don't look at the quantity of people around you. Really look at the quality and make sure it matches what it is that you're trying to draw in your life and what you're trying to do with your life. And just because they're family doesn't mean they get automatic entree into every area of your life. It doesn't. I'm sorry. And you get to redefine relationships. I've had to do that, and I'm fine with it. And, you know, there's one relationship in my life that unless there's an audible voice from God, I will not be doing a phone call or a visit.
It's like, I love that house analogy, and I know I'm going to use it. I'm going to steal it.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson.
Yes.
And if you want to find her, she is Dr. Burnout on Instagram.
You know, like that family member, you know how you'll have like your house a certain way. You know, you clean off my table, make your beds when you get up in the morning. So that family member that you just let them in because they got the family card and they want to put the glass on the table and don't want to put a coaster on there, or they don't want to take their plate and put it in the sink,
or they want to open up closets. What's in here? What's in that room?
That does not give them an automatic, you can stay in the house. Maybe
How much you pay for this?
Yes.
Where this come from?
Yes. Literally sometimes.
How much you make? Really?
You can love them and you can sit on the front porch with them.
Yes. You can love people from a distance.
Absolutely.
You can love people from a distance.
It's an emotion that transcends space and time.
It is.
It really is.
It is. And don't continue to self-sacrifice. There's no reward in that. There's only hurt and pain for you.
And there have been seasons in my life where I'm quite sure people didn't realize that they were doing it, but I was being made to feel guilty for who I am. And then I would try to be, let me try and be who they want me to be. And it was the most miserable time in my life. And I had to come to terms with who I am.
Yeah, and it's okay. And it's okay to continue to teach people how to accept and treat you. There's a person in my life that I have to do it frequently. And I'm okay with that, because the reason why is, even though I have to do it again, because part of the things that I tell couples is, once you tell somebody something matters to you, it should begin to matter to them, and they should begin to show up differently in that regard. But you can't have that level for every person, because some people they're not going to change. And some people are at an age where you got what you got. But the thing that I can say about this person is, in the moment, there is an acknowledgement. And even though it may be a month later where I may have to say it again, there is always an acknowledgement and an effort to be better and be different. And I won't say that they show up in the exact same way, making the exact same mistake, even though it may be in the same chapter. It's at least on a different page, you know. So I don't hold it against the person, because I do know that person's heart. But you've got to choose. If you know that the person's not making any effort to do better, they're giving you lip service, then you may respond differently in that situation. But guess what? You get to even choose that. If you want the person to continue to be in your life and continue to wreak havoc, then I'm as your therapist, I would tell you, stop complaining about it.
I know this isn't the Bravo show, but before we started on the recording, I was watching the Jersey reunion, and Joe Gorga, I don't know, maybe you will come across this recording. I might put a hashtag in there so you can come across it. It's time for Teresa to be in the front yard.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make a sibling show up in your life the way you want them to show up.
Because you and Melissa, if it was left up to her, Melissa would be at the fence and you could come in the house. I don't know where the children would be.
She has, in so many words, verbalized it. She has said that.
She has said that. And the sad part is it truly is a double standard.
It is.
And that's the sad part. And I don't care how many times she wants to say it's not. There is a double standard. Mm-hmm. And the expectation is you be for me what I need you to be and accept however I choose.
However I show up for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but I agree. Joe, I'm hoping that you're choosing. Well, I know you choose your wife and kids, but quit sacrificing yourself, your dignity, and your pride in a way that she never would.
And it may have to be a relationship where it is that long distance, that love from afar, and you can let her, if she wants to come and knock on the fence, go meet her in the front on the sidewalk.
Talk outside.
Yeah.
But you know what's interesting? And so it's like they're living that probably day to day more than they acknowledge it. And I think they have to come together on the show in a way that's probably not as natural, because Melissa and Joe sold their house in the community
that they now live,
that Teresa and Louie now live in.
Yeah.
And they have moved and are renovating a house in another community. Mm-hmm. So to me, I don't know if that's coincidental, but that speaks volumes to me that you guys are ships passing in the night in where you're choosing to live.
I'm quite sure they feared that she would poison the well. This is where they've lived, and you don't need anyone talking to the neighbors.
And I don't know which happened first. I don't know if they were deciding to sell when they started looking over there. I don't know how it happened. And like I said, I don't know if it was totally coincidental, but it speaks volumes that that's what happened. And, she is a different individual. That's all I can say about that. She's a different individual.
I think, and I've noticed as of late, and we're going to wrap this up, is that what COVID has taught me and what I'm seeing on the tail end of it is that we as a world are dealing with a lot of emotions and not quite sure how to juggle it all. When we had our lives that we were basically, you were going out shopping. There were no boundaries. You can go to the store. We were living, and we were living loud.
And we had a plethora of everything.
Yeah.
Empty shelves was a rarity.
I think that living like that, it numbed us
to a lot of things.
Yeah. And now to be facing it like just head on, you're hearing more about young people committing suicide. You're, all of this just pent up emotion. Yeah. So I think that the thing to learn from this house analogy is there's even a verse in the Bible that talks about how a deacon can't be a deacon unless he takes care of his own home. You got to take care of your home. You got to take care of yourself.
That's exactly right. And I want to say that might have been one of the scriptures that she used, because she did have two scriptures, because it was a Bible study, but she was able to really send home a very good message. So great job, Dr. Wilson. We got a twofer out of that. I learned something, and I decided to share your great information with others. So Once again, you get to establish your boundaries. You get to say what's healthy and what works for you. And, you get to decide who gets to stay outside the fence, who gets to come in the yard, who can be on the porch, who can come to the backyard barbecue, and ultimately who gets to come in the house. So thank you so much for listening to the W.A.I.T channel. Please subscribe. Please make comments. Please get the ringer to give you a reminder of when our post is happening. But ultimately, keep listening. Thank you.